a couple of days ago, my son, our power went out. We had a little bit of rain and the electric went out. And, immediately, of course, when the power goes out, your house is completely pitch dark. And so he starts yelling. Of course, he's afraid, right? Not necessarily afraid because he thought that he was in danger. It was just that he couldn't see. He couldn't see what he normally sees, and I always jump to logical. I always say to him that, the walk from he's on one side, they're on one side of the house, we're on the other side of the house. And so I always tell him that the walk from his side of the house to our side of the house, my husband and I, it's the same walk. He's walked this walk thousands of times. And so it's just like us when we are afraid, when we have this fear about doing something new. We're not afraid necessarily of any danger. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid because we can't see the past in front of us. And so just something to be thinking about today is we're afraid of something that may or may not ever happen. We're afraid of danger. We're afraid that it won't go like we want it to go. We're afraid that it might not work. We're afraid of what people are going to say. We're afraid of if we are successful, are we going to be able to handle the success? And so today, just think about how much of our lives we don't live, how much of our lives are wasted because we are afraid of the unknown. And just like my son was afraid of the dark, he couldn't see what was in front of him. He was so used to the familiar. With fear, it's the same way. We're so used to our comfort zone. We're so used to the place where we are. We're so used to this that we know, this dysfunction that we know, that we don't want to step out and do something better with our lives because we're afraid of what's going to happen. And so I just invite you to think about in the future, facing your fear, doing something that you're afraid of, knowing that it's going to be fine. If it works, it's going to be fine. If it doesn't work, you're going to learn from it. And so it is important that we don't just stay stuck in fear. We don't stay stuck in mediocrity, that we don't stay stuck in our comfort zone because it's comfortable, because we know what it's like to be in this comfort zone, but that we're thinking about how can I do better? How can I be better? How can I help other people live better lives? And so instead of just staying stuck with the fear about what's going to happen, why don't we just push ourselves to do more, to do better, to be better, to help other people and not just stay in this one spot? And so just something to think about today is, how is fear controlling your life? So just think about, how is fear controlling your life? What is it that, and fear is controlling your life if you have all these things that you're planning to do, or you've been talking about doing, or you want to do, or you should do and you don't. So just think about, if fear was not an option, if you just face the fear, you just push fear out of your mind and you just say, okay, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do this. How much better would your life be? How much better would you be? How much better off would you be? So just something to be thinking about is how we let fear control our lives, and how much our lives will change if we just face the fear, if we just ask for help, if we just ask for the sale, if we just ask for whatever it is that we need, if we just push ourselves to do whatever it is that we know we should do.